Let's call on stage the man who's made the film, the cinematic genius of Joe Russo. Hey Joe.
Hey, how are you? Hello everyone. Thank you for having me here.
Welcome to Joe. This is your first time in India, I believe?
This is, in fact, my first time in India. I just wanted everyone to know that this is the first stop on the press tour. We insisted on this being the first stop on the press tour because of the incredible response to Infinity War. And in fact, I got on the plane and came over here, and the movie's not even finished yet. That's how much this meant to us. So, you know, we've been meaning to come to India for a long time. We've heard so many great things about the country, and more importantly, about the fans here. We love great Marvel fans. I met some Indian media last year during the promotion of Avengers Infinity War, and I promised some of them that we would be here for the next movie. So here we are.
Great.
So that's why I'm here. I wanted to thank you in person. You all have embraced the stories. You've loved the characters, laughed and cried with us, and for that we're incredibly appreciative. And of course, thank you to the media for supporting the films here. And honestly, for never spoiling them. And we're going to ask you once again, with Endgame, please don't spoil the movie. I think there are more secrets in Endgame than there were in Infinity War. So, you know, be respectful of the fans, and fans be respectful of other fans. And once you see this film, please don't tell them what's in it. Let them experience it on their own. Our philosophy, my brother and I, is to take global stories which are universal in nature and present them in a locally relevant manner. Given that India plays host to a whole lot of different languages, we realize the importance of bringing our global stories to you in the language that you prefer. So the team here has been doing a brilliant job, I think, in translating the narratives and highlighting the local nuances while at the same time preserving the context of the films. And everyone has reacted phenomenally. The fans have reacted phenomenally to this, and you're making each of these stories your own. And as a mark of our appreciation and a big, big thank you, we have created a very special Marvel anthem for Indian fans, which has been composed by none other than the musical maestro of India, A.R. Rahman. Please give a huge round of applause to A.R. Rahman. This anthem is incredible. As I told you last night, I got goosebumps. I teared up the first time I saw it.
For the sentiment of this film, and I hope people like it.
Oh, I love it. So I'd like to open the floor right now for any questions for either of us. What it was like being on set?
What was it like having Stanley on the set?
Stan Lee on the set. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, he's the, I wouldn't be standing here without him. I believe that his final cameo is in Endgame. I don't remember if he was well enough to do the Homecoming cameo or not. But it was incredible. I mean, I grew up on these comic books. Stan Lee was an idol of mine when I was a kid, and you know, to be able to have the opportunity to not only work on the material that he created, but to work with him is a childhood dream come true. It was. I mean, it's very difficult. It requires a lot of discipline and focus. There's a lot of characters that they're working with. We're working with. There's an incredible amount of story, an unprecedented amount of story. This is, you know, 11 years of narrative culminating in one movie. And we're focusing on the original 6 Avengers, and we're closing the book on those characters and the story that's been told about them for the last decade. So we spent a lot of time and energy and thought with the writers, Christopher Marcus and Steve McFeely, really trying to deliver a powerful and emotionally impactful ending, and hopefully we've delivered that. We'll find out soon enough.
This whole thing was conceived, recorded in just 10 days, and shot. So this is completely independent of this thing. This is for the Indian audience. And so I was a bit skeptical when I played them. I don't know whether he would like it. He said, you've given us a hit. So thank you for that.
Yes, of course. I mean, the first time I saw it was last night. So, like I said, I thought it represented the spirit of what these movies are in a way that you can't express in words, which is why he's a musical genius. So, I mean, here's the thing. I'll take any questions about the thematics in Endgame, but I'm not going to answer any questions on the plot of Endgame. We spent 3 years protecting the plot of the movie from Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo. I'm not going to come here and suddenly give away the plot. I think they're all tonally very different. I mean, I think our tone is very different than Taika Waititi's tone. It's very different than James Gunn's tone. It's very different than Fleck and Bowden, who made Captain Marvel, or Coogler, who made Panther. So nobody tries to emulate tone. And in fact, I think our Thor is very different than Taika's Thor. I think the fans go along with that. I think that they like that there are different filmmakers behind each film, the way that there are different writers behind comic books. They understand the notion that depending on the author, the tone and energy and inflection of the characters can change. So, for my brother and I, we try to bring psychological realism to the characters, and we like to deconstruct stories. And so I think when you look at our films, Winter Soldier through Endgame, that's the consistent tone for us, is a level of psychological realism and constantly deconstructing the universe. In Winter Soldier, we found out that the good guys were the bad guys. In Civil War, we deconstructed the Avengers by splitting them up. In Infinity War, we deconstructed the Marvel Universe by killing half of the characters. So, that's just a theme with us, and as filmmakers, issues that are important to us from a storytelling standpoint.
I think if you look at it, as I told you before, it's a universal phenomenon. It's good versus evil, and inspiration and motivation to fight against evil. So that was my brief. And so I'll work with the lyricist Nirmika on this. And so we came up with the hook, Rokena. And I played that to folks, and they really loved it. They came to Chennai, 3 of them, and they instantly liked it, and they wanted some little changes. So this whole thing was just a week's work, and then we played it last night.
Yeah. I think, look, great music is great music, no matter what language it's in or what part of the world it's coming from. And this man has consistently made some incredible music. So I think all Marvel fans are going to be inspired by that too. Again, I don't want to talk about the plot. But I'll say this, is that, Infinity War was told from the point of view of Thanos, and Endgame is not. So take from that what you will. That's as much as I'll give you on that question. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you that part of the reason I'm here is that when we were working on Endgame, someone sent us a video reaction of an Indian audience, a very large Indian audience, watching Infinity War. And the moment where Thor arrives in Wakanda to save the Avengers, it was deafening. It sounded like a football stadium, and we got the chills listening to it. And I'll tell you, Endgame was not it was not an easy movie to make. It was very, very difficult, very exhausting for my brother and I. And when we had our down moments, we would just pull out that video and listen to that reaction from that audience to Thor arriving in Wakanda, and it would lift our spirits, and we'd keep going. And so thank you very much from the bottom of my heart as a filmmaker for giving us that experience.
My question to you, sir, don't you think it's high time that we should have one superhero from India as well? If yes, then who can be the one?
Picking a superhero from India? I think, listen, as they move forward, I don't run Marvel, but I'll tell you this, I do know, and I'm a fan and I'm watching, how diverse it is becoming. And I think that is the future of Marvel storytelling. This is global. Again, the reason I am here is that audiences around the world are reacting to these movies in a way that is profound, and I am certain that cultures are going to start seeing themselves represented on the screen and identifying with characters on the screen. So look forward to it.
Joe, for you the question is that how true is it that you actually didn't let Tom Holland read the script so that he doesn't talk about it? How true is it? Because he keeps joking about it all the time, but is it really true that the script is not given to him?
Tom Holland does not get the script.
So it's true.
Tom Holland gets his lines and that's all he gets. Sometimes he doesn't even know who he's acting opposite of. We'll just, and we use like very vague terms to describe to him what is happening in the scene, because he just has a very difficult time keeping his mouth shut.
How difficult is it to kind of sum up 10 years of cinema into one song in 10 days?
I think my son is a bigger fan of Marvel than me. So I would go reflect, I'll just play to him, what do you think? It's good, Daddy. So he was my, I would look at his eyes and find whether that we have the spirit. And thank you, Ami.
Thank everyone for attending from the bottom of my heart. I'm really proud to be here, and it's a very rare event for a filmmaker to reach audiences around the world with their stories. And it's profound for my brother and I to have such global stories to tell and to be welcomed in the way that we've been welcomed. So I really, really want to do one more round of applause for AR. An incredible piece he made for us. It's going to be online everywhere. We're going to post it on our social media. I'm going to forward it on to Robert Downey and ask him to post it as well. And we want people all over the world listening to the song. So.